Once upon a time, deep in the ancient forest of Eldergrove, there lived a great wizard named Alaric. His name was spoken in hushed tones, for his power was unmatched, and his wisdom was as deep as the roots of the oldest oak. But Alaric was not born with his immense power. As a young boy, he was an orphan, found wandering the edges of the forest by a kind old hermit named Thalor. Thalor, though not a wizard himself, recognized the spark of magic within Alaric and took him under his wing. He taught the boy the ways of the forest, the language of the stars, and the importance of balance in all things. For Thalor understood that magic was not just about power, but about harmony with the natural world. Years passed, and Alaric grew into a man. His magic flourished, and he became a guardian of Eldergrove. He could summon storms to quench the thirst of the land, heal the sick with a touch, and even speak to the spirits of the forest. But with great power came great responsibility, and Alaric never forgot Thalor's lessons about balance. One fateful day, a darkness began to creep into Eldergrove. The trees grew sick, the rivers turned black, and the animals fled in fear. Alaric knew that this was no ordinary blight. It was the work of a malevolent force known as the Shadow Weaver, a sorcerer who sought to corrupt the natural world and bend it to his will. Determined to save his home, Alaric embarked on a perilous journey to the heart of the forest, where the Shadow Weaver had made his lair. Along the way, he encountered many challenges: treacherous swamps, enchanted beasts, and illusions designed to lead him astray. But Alaric's resolve never wavered. He called upon the spirits of the forest, who granted him their strength and guidance. They urged him to press on, for the fate of Eldergrove hung in the balance. At last, Alaric reached the Shadow Weaver's lair, a twisted, desolate place where the very air seemed to choke the life out of everything. The Shadow Weaver himself, a gaunt figure cloaked in darkness, emerged to confront him. "You cannot defeat me, Alaric," he sneered. "I am the embodiment of chaos and decay. I am eternal." But Alaric stood firm. "You may be powerful," he replied, "but you have forgotten the most important truth, that light cannot exist without darkness, and darkness cannot exist without light. You have upset the balance, and for that, you must be stopped." With those words, Alaric unleashed the full extent of his magic. The forest itself seemed to rise up in support of him. The trees bent their branches to shield him. The rivers flowed to quench his thirst, and the very stars in the sky shone brighter than ever. The battle raged for hours, shaking the very foundations of Eldergrove. Magic clashed against magic in a dazzling display of light and shadow. The Shadow Weaver, fueled by his dark power, attacked with relentless fury, each strike aimed at shattering Alaric's resolve. But Alaric, drawing strength from the love of his home and the memory of his mentor, stood firm. He countered the Shadow Weaver's attacks, sending bolts of searing light crashing into the darkness. The clash of their powers shook the forest, but Alaric's magic was infused with the very essence of Eldergrove. It was more than just powerful. It was harmonious. As the battle reached its climax, Alaric realized that defeating the Shadow Weaver wouldn't just be about overpowering him, but about restoring balance to the forest. With a final surge of magic, Alaric banished the Shadow Weaver's darkness back into the shadows from whence it came. As the Shadow Weaver's form dissipated into nothingness, the forest began to heal. The rivers ran clear once more, the trees regained their vitality, and the animals returned to their homes. Alaric, though exhausted, felt a deep sense of peace. He had restored balance to Eldergrove. From that day forward, Alaric was not just a great wizard, he was a legend. His story was told around campfires, in the halls of kings, and in the quiet whispers of the forest. And though he continued to guard Eldergrove, he knew that his true power lay not in his magic, but in his understanding of the delicate balance that held the world together. And so the great wizard Alaric lived on, a beacon of light in a world that would always need his wisdom and strength.